imagery. However, it is very interesting seeing that the media just recently exposed that our planet have came in contact with 4 different species of. There's theories that Donald Trump is actually going to be used by the Galactic Federation or the Federation of Worlds to pretty much implement Nisara Gasara and eliminate this financial system that's facilitated by the blue blood draconian bloodlines that have been subjugating and controlling this realm. Now, I'm not saying Donald Trump is good by any means, because I know for a fact that in the Epstein files, he was pretty much on board with transhumanism. And this is one of the reasons why he was seen with Elon Musk. However, there's some that allege that these different extraterrestrial factions are going to be utilizing Donald Trump to pretty much drain the swamp, so to speak. And when you think about draining the swamp, what that pretty much entails is exposing the reptilians. People would say that that video was computer generated or that it was AI, right? And it very well could have been, but it also could have been real. Have you ever questioned why they have made AI or artificial intelligence look so realistic right during the Great Awakening? It's primarily because they know that since the solar flares are ramping up and the Schumann resonance spikes have been increasing, we're now ascertaining more access to the electromagnetic spectrum. We're only typically privy to 0.0.35, which is referred to as the visible light spectrum. But as we raise in frequency, a lot of these beings that are utilizing bioholographic projection technology to bend light photons to hide their appearance are no longer going to be able to do that. A lot of them are going to be glitching, and it's a situation where people are going to begin to see these beings in public. That's why they're slowly rolling out a soft disclosure and making us aware that there's 4 different species. Now, it's been alleged that 82 different species have visited this planet before. I believe it was even more than that. All right, but it's going to be a situation where these beings are going to start to reveal themselves. And a lot of you people that don't believe in the outer worldly, they always scream AI or that's fake or blue beam, are going to have a rude awakening. Religious heretics that debate the existence of extraterrestrial biological entities, but rather lean on words like angels or demons, just choose to debate semantics because they're blinded by religion. When you break down the etymology of religion, it means rely on jinn meaning evil spirit. Religion was constructed as a mechanism to make you look outside of yourself. This is primarily because you're a fragment of prime source creation. And religion was created by the malevolent extraterrestrials. This is what people don't realize. The God in the Bible is actually the devil. Ask yourself why out of every character in the Bible, God has the most bodies. God has close to 3 million bodies. All right. To be exact, 2,559,449. What if I told you that the entity that you refer to as God in the Bible is actually a malevolent extraterrestrial biological entity, an Anunnaki by the name of Enlil? The name Enlil actually translates to Sky Lord, and this is primarily one of the reasons why God is viewed as a man in a clouds with a beard. These beings didn't want us to know who we are. They had a God complex, and they wanted to emulate the Great Mother so much that they completely removed her. All right, this is one of the reasons why in the Bible you hear stories of woman coming from man's rib, and the patriarchal system pretty much rules with the iron fist. It's primarily to eradicate the love frequency, mainly because the matriarch is associated with love. All right, so when we talk about the divine feminine, it's typically associated with Venus, which is ruled by love, and the patriarchal system is ruled by Mars, all right, which is the war. All right, and this is why most men rule with the iron fist. And again, this is not about gender when we talk about the divine masculine versus the divine feminine. It's about an energy sequence, all right? Religion is, the whole guise of religion is based on a patriarchal system, which we are stepping away from. Age of Aquarius represents the washing away of an old system and an entry of a new system, all right? And the Hopis talked about this time where we would enter the 5th world. And during this time, our cosmic star families will return, all right? And this is why they now have to give us disclosure that these beings do exist, and why we're going to now be able to see more extraterrestrial biological entities and beings that are non-human altogether. Because we're in an age of awakening, a lot of these beings are going to begin to communicate with some of you telepathically due to the fact that we are star seeds. One of the things that the government hid from us is the fact that we actually have cosmic celestial bloodlines. They didn't want us to know this. Ancient times, our ancestors coexisted with these beings and even learned things like agriculture and received technology from them and learned vast information about the cosmos. The reason why they interacted with us more in ancient times is because we vibrated at a higher frequency. As of now, we've been reduced substantially by things like chemtrails, bioengineered genetically modified organisms, and mind-forgetful agents. It's important to know that a lot of these beings also try to communicate with us telepathically, but due to a lot of individuals walking around with the calcified pineal gland, it formulates an encryption on their neuromelanin, making it very difficult for them to access the dark matter. And dark matter is the conduit to interface with higher dimensions, all right? So this is why I recommend utilizing things like Haritaki, which contains tubulagic and gallic acid or phenolic compounds to decalcify the pineal gland. I recommend utilizing things like chlorophyll to remove all toxic metals out of your body, such as lead, cadmium, mercury, thallium, and barium. It's also very important that we begin to utilize parasite cleanses to remove any vampiric parasitic entities to keep us entrenched in the root chakra. Parasites have the ability of hijacking your neurophysiology. They literally create cravings in your body that's not yours. They also have the ability, through a process called cysticercosis, to travel to the brain, implementing toxoplasmosis. This is why there's so many NPCs or non-playable characters. A lot of them are being manipulated by parasites. Liquid tincture that I have available on Holistic Remedies is a phenomenal component for eliminating all types of parasites, from protozoa to helminths and ectoparasites, pinworms, hookworms, tapeworms, as well as toxoplasmosis brain parasites. It contains black walnut, sweet wormwood, and whole cloves, which release a chemical constituent called eugenol that dissolves the nucleic shell of the parasite, as well as eliminates all eggs. Eating at fast food spots. Realize that those cravings for sugar aren't yours, all right? Stop eating refined sugar. Within 45 minutes, refined sugar shuts your body's ability to produce white blood cells and allows dis-ease to settle in. I want you to recognize the signs and realize that most illness is attributed to parasites. Very important that you detox and remove all metals out of your body. The toxic metals work in direct conjunction with the 5G towers. All right, once they start ramping up these 5G towers, that omnipresent radiation works in conjunction with the toxic metals in your blood. And the toxic metals are going to make it very difficult to handle the Schumann resonance spikes, as well as any of the corona mass ejections and plasma ionization that's being emitted from our sun. Detox 19 is a very powerful heavy metal cleanse zeolite that I have available that's also great for removing microplastics, and it's known for its ability to detoxify and decalcify the pineal gland by pulling the toxic metals out of your neurophysiology for better cerebral blood flow. The things they don't want you to know, and one of the main reasons why they have been suppressing us, it's primarily because this whole time we have been the extraterrestrials. We are star seeds, and they attack the DNA because they don't want you accessing the Akashic records. Your DNA is the access point to the scholastic library of infinite cosmic data, all right? It tells you about your past, present, and future. For all high-quality herbs and metaphysical products for spiritual elevation, click the link in my bio and visit Holistic Remedies, your extension to Ascension.
We have to get rid of all the parasites and toxic metals in our bodies.
They're spraying us every day with those chemtrails.
And we need to decalcify the pineal gland.
So we can soak up these light photons.
Ra is not playing. The sun is amping up more and more. They know we are gods and goddesses.
Right now we're going through cosmic activation, and it's important our bodies can handle this shift.
Holistic Remedies has all the metaphysical tools we need to prepare for ascension.
Hey, yo, did y'all see this?